Paul here, we're in Monterey, California, and you can see behind me the brand new 2021 Acura TLX Type S. The Type S is back. So we're going to do a walk around and have a look at all the features that we've been waiting for 10 years for the return of the Type S to the Acura brand. Stay tuned. We're talking about May 20th. We're going to do a full review of this car, the 2021 Acura TLX Type S. And that full review is going to have track driving at Laguna Seca, one of the best racetracks in the world. I cannot wait. And also a street drive with the car as well. An all-new grille, a diamond pentagon design on the grille that has, well, let's just say it's actually a really nice looking front end. I think we've been kind of hit over the head a lot of times in the last few years with styling and grills that have gotten completely out of control. And here we see a simple front end that looks really pretty. And it's purposeful as well. 10% more airflow than it used to have to feed the brand new turbocharged V6 engine. And a really aggressive looking car, and also elegant at the same time. And it falls pretty close to what the concept car was doing, and so it has really nice proportions to the vehicle, and it makes it, well, one of the better looking cars on the road, in my opinion, in this category. So a few of the other things you get with the Type S, of course, is super handling all-wheel drive. This new system has that ability to put 70% of the torque to the rear wheels, which is a lot. Most systems you usually see kind of max out at 50-50. But the real party trick to this car is a real, true, full mechanical torque vectoring differential. Not an electronic one, a mechanical one, which means in the back of this car are two differentials in the rear, and it not only can lock a differential like a locking diff can do, but it can actually overdrive the outside wheel, steering the vehicle around the corner and killing understeer. And we'll see if it's true or not, but they've had this system. This is the 4th generation of this system. Also on the back of the car, you see a diffuser in the rear, plus quad exhaust pipes. So again, an aggressive vehicle when we're looking at the Type S. It's pretty different looking than the regular TLX. So under the hood of the Type S is an all-new V6. Now, of course, Acura's had V6 engines forever, but this engine is a 60-degree, brand new design. It has a completely different cylinder head that's actually more compact, and that's due to the styling. They wanted the hood of the car to be a lot lower, so they went with an all-new cylinder head design. It's still 24-valve, double overhead cam, but they actually included the rocker covers in the valve cover to actually lower and make the engine more compact. As I mentioned, it's 3 liters in capacity. It has a single turbo that's on the side of the engine, so it's kind of interesting, right above the transmission. And that turbo is a twin scroll, which is not a twin turbo, it's a twin scroll. And that saves you some weight, it saves you in packaging, and still makes the same sort of horsepower you'd get with 2 turbos, and also has the same spool-up characteristics. So that's how the twin scroll sort of helps in that situation. And it makes 355 horsepower, which is a pretty good number, and 359 pound-feet of torque. Now, the new 3-liter V6 turbo engine is bolted to the same 10-speed automatic transmission that you see on the regular TLX, but it's been beefed up substantially, and it actually shifts 40% faster and also does more rev matching on the way down as well. So it kind of matches those RPMs as you're downshifting the car. It's got the widest stance in its class with the lowest hood line, so it's very low and wide. 20-inch wheels are standard, and on this car we've got the summer tires with the 5-spoke rims, and you also notice the Brembo brakes there. And I'll also mention while we're down here, this has a double wishbone front suspension, so not the normal McPherson strut suspension that you'll see typically in cars in these categories. And of course a multi-link in the back. 255 front tire, so nice big tires. Remember we talked about torque vectoring differentials and all that great stuff, so it's really an impressive performance package when you put it all together. All right, interior. Well, it's very red, but I happen to be a big fan of red interior, so I'm okay with that. What do I notice right away getting in? Very driver oriented. We've got a tilt telescope wheel, which of course that's pretty normal these days, but the seat in this thing is really comfortable, and it's 16-way adjustable, which means the side bolsters go in and out. You can also do the leg extension. Not that I need a lot of that, but a little bit helps. And it also, you can really tilt the bottom down and back, which I love for driving cars, because it really helps you not slide forward when you're braking, for example, especially when you drive a car on a track. Or in an emergency situation. So we've got a very driver-oriented interior, we've got a flat bottom steering wheel, we've got paddles to go through those 10 gears. When will it end? How many gears are we going to have next year? 10 seems like a lot, but again, that's a cool thing because you always can have the car right in the power band at the right moment. Now it'll be fun when we actually do get to drive the car to watch this particular display light up, because this is what shows the super handling all-wheel drive and where it's sending the power. And you can even see in the little pictogram that's down there, you can see that it does have two differentials in the back, which is very unusual. Again, cars usually have one in the back, but this allows it to choose one or the other and send all the power to one wheel or the other, and even overdrive that wheel through a little bit higher gearing. We've got the main display screen here, which is not a touch screen. You operate it with a haptic feedback controller that has a nice little wrist rest here, so you just kind of move around and select things and go back. And that main screen gives you Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. So you got Sirius XM satellite radio, of course USB, you can have music from there. It's a 17 speaker stereo system that has 2 subwoofers in the trunk. So that brings up a point, you know, when we're looking at the interior of the car, the whole idea behind Type S's versus a Type R is that the Type S has all the performance, but it also retains the luxury. When you go into a Type R Acura, those cars actually have diminished luxury where they're actually trying to save weight. So they remove the luxury items from the car for the Type Rs. A lot of them, they leave some stuff, of course, still get air conditioning and things like that. But this car is, as a Type S, has all the luxury in the vehicle, the ventilated seats, the heated seats, you know, all the good stuff, the big stereo system, all the amenities. And so that's what makes a Type S, and what makes it a little bit different than a Type R. So you got to kind of pick your poison. Now, like many cars these days, you've got different drive modes, and the Type S is no exception. It does have adjustable dampers, adjustable shocks, so you can go through and change the shock settings. You can go through and change the settings for the engine, the transmission, the steering, and how quick it is and how much it weighs when you're actually turning it, the brake feel, all of these things. Of course, the engine response and the throttle response, all those parameters are adjustable, and you do it all just with this very simple knob right here and just turning it back and forth. And it even has, just for the Type S, you even get the Sport Plus mode where you just turn and hold for 1 second and it'll go into Sport Plus. And as you do that with the car running, you actually hear the exhaust note changes as it opens the valve. It even raises the idle RPM. And for those of you that hate start-stop, if you get in Sport or Sport Plus, it automatically turns the start-stop system off. One of my favorite features in any car, I have these at home too, and I even installed one in my personal car that didn't come with one, but it's an inductive charger, and they're really cool because of course you just lay your phone right there, it picks it up, you just have to have a compatible case and a compatible phone, and my phone's charging right now. So, and it's a great location right by the armrest and the center console. We've got the Type S embossed into the headrest. That's new for the car as well. So lots of cool little detail shots. It even has a hand-stitched dashboard as well, so you get stitching on the dash. You've got Alcantara suede seat inserts, which are really quite nice. So a lot of very upscale, you know, little touches and details through the car that really separates it from the normal TLX. And of course, the moonroof. Well, hopping in the back seat, it feels good for me. I am not the best judge of back seats because I'm all of 5'7". So to me, I'm like, it feels like a limousine back here, but it actually is fairly roomy. There's decent headroom above my head. There's actually speakers up here as well that you can adjust through the settings on the stereo system. So it's a pretty luxurious back seat. I will say it's quite comfortable because it's fairly reclined. So you get in some back seats and they're very vertical. This is a nice back seat. There's even a little bit of bolstering in the seat backs. Of course, you've got your armrests with your cup holders in it, and all done in this beautiful deep red color. So yeah, this is a nice place to be. I don't mind this back seat. As you can see, we got quite the color palette behind us. That crazy orange bronze color is called Tiger Eye. And then we've got Performance Red and Apex Blue. There's also a gray and a black and a white available as well. So in summary, 10 years in the waiting for the new Acura TLX Type S. And you know, is it worth it? Well, by looking at all the features that the car has, all the engineering specs that have gone into it, This should be a pretty darn exciting car, and I think worthy of the Type S badge. We've got a brand new engine, we've got a very updated transmission, we've got the 4th generation of one of the best all-wheel drive systems on the market. We've got 20-inch wheels with Pirelli P0s, we've got Brembo brakes, a double wishbone suspension. This thing should be a pretty cool car, and of course a Type S is a car that can be driven as a daily driver, but have all sorts of performance when the mood strikes or the opportunity presents itself. So come back to TFL Car for more independent and honest reviews.